As the trailer of Bhuj, The Pride of India is officially out and the film shall be released on OTT platform on August 13. But the real story from which the movie is inspired is a tale of valor and a crucial part of the War of 1971. The war against Pakistan almost 50 years back was fought on two fronts. One was in East Pakistan, which would eventually become Bangladesh, and also on the western side as Pakistan tried to inroads into India. One such story on the western side was the story that has become part of a war lore in famous Indo-Pak battles. In this video, we will dive into the real story of how squadron leader Vijay Karnik, played by Mr. Ajay Devgan, who convinced 300 women to rebuild the airstrips which was destroyed by Pakistani airstrikes. The incident was later termed as India's Pearl Harbor. In case you want to know more about the entire war of 1971, starting from the rebellion in East Pakistan to India's role in its liberation, then do subscribe to my channel, as the video for the same will be out soon. So, without further ado, let's get started. The Indo-Pakistani War of 1971 was a military confrontation between India's Mitra Bahini forces and Pakistan. It occurred during the Bangladesh Liberation War in East Pakistan from 3rd December 1971 to fall of Dhaka on 16 December 1971. The war began with Operation Chengiz Khan's preemptive aerial strikes on 11 Indian air stations. This led to commencement of hostilities with Pakistan and India's entry into war for independence in East Pakistan on the side of Bengali nationalist forces. One of those airstrikes were on December 8. 14 napalm bombs were dropped on the Indian Air Force airstrips in Bhuj, Gujarat by a squadron of Sabre jets by Pakistan. The strip was heavily damaged, and that meant Indian fighter planes were not able to take off. This was a huge disadvantage as another attack was imminent. The strategy all along was to paralyze India's air support, as without the airstrips, the planes were useless. Indian Air Force decided to take the help of BSF to rebuild the airstrip. While the IAF and BSF were putting their blood and sweat to rebuild the airstrips, due to lack of time and manpower, they were unable to do the same. That was when 300 villagers, most of them women, from Madhapur in Bhuj, opted to do it. With nothing but patriotism, they decided to get the job done, and they did it inside 72 hours. Vallabhbhai Singhani, one of these brave women, told Ahmedabad Mirror how she felt just like a soldier. She recalls how on December 9, they did not think once of their safety and were taken via army vehicles to the strip and began their work. This is what she said. We were 300 women who left our home to help Air Force, determined to ensure the pilots fly again from here. If we were to die, it would have been an honorable death. Squadron leader Vijay Karnik had an important role in getting the women to help out. Along with 50 IF and 60 Defence Security Corps personnel, made sure that the airstrip was operational despite the damage inflicted by the PAF. He told Asian Age, "We were fighting a war, and if there had been any casualties of any of these women, it would have been a great loss to the war effort. But I took the decision and it worked out. I had briefed them where they could take shelter if attacked, and they followed it bravely." It was a risky business as the lives of civilians were at risk. The siren would go off anytime Pakistani bombers were nearby. They would immediately run and hide in the bushes. The women were also asked to wear green saris to camouflage themselves. A short siren was an indication that they could resume work. The brave women toiled from dawn to dusk to make optimum use of daylight. Veeru Lachani, another woman, told Times of India, "We were instructed to cover the strip with cow dung to camouflage it from enemy planes. While working, we had to scurry for shelter in bunkers at the sound of siren. Taking shelters in bunkers during airstrikes, we had to survive on sukhdi and chili." After 3 days of toil, the 4th day saw combat planes take off. It was operational. Hiruben Bhudia, who was among the 300, spoke about the experience. The airstrip needed to be reconstructed on war footing. However, due to labor shortage, they counted on us. In 72 hours, we ensured the pilots were back on the skies. We still have the same energy, and if armed forces need us, we'll work for them again. The brave deeds of 300 women of Madhapur helped India gain a stronghold in the war, and eventually Pakistan's hope of going all the way to Delhi were dashed. On December 16, India won the war. These women were no less than heroes of the war, and it is time their contribution is known to the nation. Almost 3 years after the war, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi offered them gifts, but they turned her down humbly, saying what they did was for the country. However, in 2018, a war memorial called Virangana Smarak dedicated to them, reflecting the bravery and patriotism.